Right.
I came across a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
I see. Okay.
And in that book, Robert Kiyosaki said the number one skill in life is sales. And I grew up in a family that we never talk about sales. We
Right.
never talk about money.
Right.
It's like the topics of money and sales like taboo, right?
You see, it's important we talk about this because I want everyone to know that you're just a good, hardworking guy, and you don't have any advantages. You don't come from a wealthy family. You just got into real estate and you worked really, really hard. But when I met you, working hard wasn't enough. You were still struggling. You were, working 7 days a week. And so even though you were knowledgeable and you were, ethical, hardworking realtor, it still wasn't, real estate wasn't working for you. But when you met me and I introduced you to this idea of, on top of people liking you, they need to know you first. You need to create an awareness first. And you need to be able to explain with the words that come out of your mouth and in your advertising and promotion, you need to be able to answer this very important question that every prospect is asking, which is, why should I choose to do business with you versus the gazillions of other agents in the state of California? So you jumped right on it. You've been an amazing student. Let's talk about some of those reasons why, if I was thinking of buying or selling my home in your marketplace in California, why would I choose you? Why do you stand out amongst all the other realtors?
And just as a background, Craig, before we jump into it, is that when I met you, I was selling about maybe 8 to 10 homes a year. And once I implement this idea, this unique selling proposition, because before, why should you hire me to sell your home over and above thousands of other agents? Well, I'm a nice guy.
That was your answer, right? Yeah, right. Right. I'll work hard. I'm a nice guy.
Right. Yes. And I do, by the way, I try. I get the concept. I never, before I met you, I didn't understand. I never heard of unique selling proposition, but I understand that we have to separate ourselves. So how I did it, I took literally almost every single classes from the National Association of Realtors. I take every classes because to me, in my mind, that's a way for me to separate myself. I have every designation. They have the right. NARS. Like my name is so long, Rudy Kusuma, comma. ABs, GRI, ABR.
You had all the designations, all the letters behind your name, but it didn't change anything.
Because I was trying hard to separate myself, right? I know the marketplace is busy. I'm trying to separate myself. But later on, I realized the customers don't care about all your education. In fact, they assume if I hire you to sell my house, they assume the house is going to get sold.
Right. It's a given that the real estate agents should know what they're doing.
Yes.
Okay, so what started to change for you then? You struggled, you weren't successful, you worked hard, you did everything they told you to do, you took all the mandatory courses through the real estate associations, you got all your designations, and your career, you're still struggling. What happens next?
And then I implement this unique, so you taught me, this is called unique selling proposition. So for our audience who's listening to this, if you want to make an extra $1 million, man, the implementation of a unique selling proposition, Craig, it completely changed my business from selling about 8 to 10 homes a year to selling about 10 homes a month to now selling 10 homes a week. So a unique selling proposition essentially is this: it tells the world who we are, specifically what we do. So the biggest thing what I learned from you, I completely changed my name. Instead of Rudy Kusuma, BS, GRI, and all those designations, first thing I met you, my name is Rudy Kusuma, your home sold, guaranteed, or I'll buy. And then I put up on my billboard, on my business card, everywhere, in my car, Craig. I drive a minivan, I wrap my car, everywhere. It says, your home sold. So initially, when I first met you, I put your Rudy Kusuma, your home sold, guarantee, I'll buy. And my phone started ringing off the hook. And then I realized, wait a minute. When I put my name, when I add your home sold, guaranteed, or I'll buy it, I get more calls. And then what happens if I make my name smaller and I put the unique selling proposition bigger? And that's a game changer.
Right. So your headline used to be your name. Yeah. Then you realized that the real benefit wasn't your name. The benefit was your home sold, guaranteed, or I'll buy it. That became the headline and your name became secondary.
Yes. And you
So
mentioned
that's
on the-
what when we talk about your USP is your brand and your brand is your USP. And then you plastered that message everywhere.
Yes. And when you mentioned just now in the introduction, Craig, that when my team was selling about 500 homes a year, we were the #1 team in California when we were with Remax. I think I was the only Remax agent that don't put the Remax logo on it, because on the billboards everywhere, there was an experiment for 3 years. I put up your home sold guarantee on the billboards, your home sold guarantee, I'll buy it, call Rudy's, and then put cell phone numbers. And that, so essentially, I remember, Craig, I still remember the first time I met you, you asked this question: why? Why should I do business with you above all other options, including doing nothing, or I can do a for sale by owners?
Right, because sellers have options, right? The seller could choose not to sell their home. The seller could choose to sell their home themselves, or the seller could use you or the gazillions of other real estate agents in your marketplace. So, as realtors, it's very important that we have an outstanding answer to that most important question. Tell us about some of the other USPs that you promote in your business, aside from if I don't sell your home, I'll buy it.
Yes, and so for example, so before I show some example, Craig, I want to share this. This is some of the gold nuggets that I learned from you about like a decade ago. Unique selling proposition, it communicates clearly and concisely what benefits a prospect will derive from doing business with us. So that's why the unique selling proposition is so important. So some of the unique selling,
right. So my unique benefit my USP has to actually be a benefit. So my USP couldn't be I'll take 3 times as long to sell your home, right?
It's I'm actually a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. I'm an honest person. Right? Everything is about I. See, before I met you, Craig, I make it about I. I take all these classes. It's all about me. But the biggest thing I learned from you, the unique selling proposition, is start with you. Your home sold at a price that is acceptable to you, guaranteed, or I'll pay you the difference, for example.
Okay, now what about critics that might say, well, that's a bait and switch. That's not a real offer. You don't really help people. It's just a trick to get people to call you. How would you respond to the naysayers?
Well, in a real life, it happens all the time, Craig. I went to my team and we show up at the listing appointments. The owner of the house say, "Hey, Rudy, the other agent said that this is," well, I show them exactly, you give me the entire program, how the guaranteed sale program works with the guaranteed sale contracts. And every time, Craig, for the past 10 years, every time we show up at the owner of the house, we give them the actual contract and we say this: Mr. Owner of the house, if the other agent said that this is just a gimmick or whatever, this is the actual contract to guarantee the sale of your home.
Right. It's a real guarantee. It's basically an insurance policy that you're offering the seller that they're not going to get stuck owning 2 homes. An insurance policy that the other realtors are unlikely to match.
No one, Craig. So far, after we leave the paperwork, have the other agents, please call the other agents who say that and have them sign this. No one take over the guaranteed sale program.
Right. See if the other agent will sign this or give you a superior offer. Right.
Yes. No one does that.
Okay. So let's guaranteed sale program. If you don't understand how it works, don't judge it. Okay. Don't prejudge us. We have so many realtors that believe it's it's gimmicky. It's a bait and switch. Look, everything in real estate we could argue is a bait and switch. I think as real estate agents, we understand that when we advertise one of our listings, probably most of the people that contact us about one of our listings, once they get the information, are not actually going to buy it, right? When you get an ad call or sign call, here's what normally happens, like 90% of the time. The prospect says, you tell them about the house. They say it's too big, it's too small, it's in the wrong location or whatever. And then what do? Do you say to that prospect, "Oh, I don't want you as a buyer," and hang up on them? No, you don't do that. If the property they called about is too big, too small, wrong location or whatever, as realtors, we're trained to say, "Well, what are you looking for?" And they tell us, and then we would proceed to talk to them about other properties that would match their criteria. Often they're not homes that we have listed. They may be, they may not be. They probably homes on MLS. So we could argue, well, real estate agents in general, they trick the buyers, right? They bait the buyers with a property that they know the buyers aren't going to buy. And then when they get the ad call or sign call, they switch the buyers onto something else. So, advertising is about getting a response. And if this is a real offer that really helps buyers and sellers, which it does, and here's the secret. Other agents, some of them may not like this guaranteed sale program, but you want to know who loves it? The prospects, the buyers and sellers, the public love the guarantees that you offer. And I'll tell you why guarantees work. We're in a world here, Rudy, where, real estate agents, lots of them are running around loosely using the word guarantee. Hey, Rudy, I guarantee to sell your home fast, or I guarantee to sell it for the most amount of money, or I guarantee you great service, but there's no teeth. It's just words, right? I guarantee, or what? Or nothing, right? I guarantee your home will sell or it'll expire. So all the guarantees that you offer have teeth. There's an actual consequence, usually like money coming from your pocket to the client's the client's pocket if you don't perform as promised. So these are performance guarantees. We teach you how to master these. Give us some examples of other USPs that you, and maybe it could be unique services or statistical USPs. Give us a few more that have been successful for you.
This is another one, Craig. This is another brilliant. You are a genius. This literally, Craig, when I first met you, you told me, hey, Rudy, every time you put it in escrow, the moment I put the house in escrow, Craig, before I met you, my manager, my broker, the entire industry, she taught me to put a sign that says pending. And I remember back in 2007, 2008, I was working on these short sale listings. One listing, I get so many calls. The moment I put it in escrow, I put the name pending, and bam, the call stopped. And you said, don't do that. I was like, what do you mean? So you asked me to put a sign that says, move up to any one of my listings, or buy this home and I'll buy your home for cash. And the moment
it got the phone to ring.
And it's even better than that. Not only it's getting the phone to ring, now we get people, think about it, for every one of our listings, for your listings, if you put a sign, buy this home and I'll buy yours, not only you get calls, who calls from sign like that? It's a buyers that has a house to sell.
Right, so you're getting the buy-in and you're getting a listing, and quite often you're double-ending properties. All right, let's talk about your buyers in waiting program. This is a unique service that you have. It's not a guarantee like we've been talking about, but still, it's a unique service that you offer that sets you apart from all the other agents. You do such extensive marketing in your marketplace. You've got a large team that you feed because of the super effective marketing machine that you've created, where you have buyers actually waiting for a house. So when you meet a seller, likely you're already going to have a buyer for their property. Instead of them interviewing another agent that says, hey, you know what, if you list your home with me, I'll start to go, here's what I'll do to start to find a buyer, or here's what I'll do to start to look for a buyer. You can come in and meet with the seller and say, I already have buyers for your property. How would you promote that, and how do you explain that to your clients?
There are 6 elements in a unique selling proposition, six ingredients of a USP. So one of them is we have the buyers. Before I met Craig, this is how my buyers database. Phone rings, I take my yellow pad, I scribble the name, oh, Joe Blow, buyers looking to buy 123 Main Street. I put it in my yellow notepads, put it on my desk. A week, a month later, usually disappear. And then when I met you, is that, hey, look, if you really want to build a serious business, you got to have a database. So what I learned from you, the biggest one, number one, is the unique selling proposition, the USP. The second one is having a CRM. So right now, in my database, Craig, I have over 57,000 buyers who's looking to buy a home in the area. So when the owner of the house call from, remember, they call because your home sold, guaranteed, or I'll buy it. By the time we show up at the listing appointments, like we literally show up at the listing appointments with a database of buyers, with a buyer's proof of funds, pre-approvals. And each one of these buyers already been working right now on the road. They're attached with one of my buyer's agents. They're looking at homes. So if you are the owner of the house, when you hire us, we already have multiple offers from your home within 72 hours. Like
I want to make sure everybody gets this. So if I'm the seller and I'm interviewing, I don't know, I want to interview 3 realtors. And one of the realtors I would interview, obviously, if I'm in Rudy's marketplace, because he's everywhere, and I know he's the guy that'll buy my home if it doesn't sell on the open market. So I interview 3 realtors. Rudy's one of them. You're actually going to bring me during that listing appointment a list of buyers that you have. They're looking in my price range, in my neighborhood. If I own a 2-story, 4-bedroom home, you can actually bring me a list of the buyers that you have in your database. They're looking for a home in my area, 2-story, 4-bedroom home, and explain how you would position that versus the other realtors they're interviewing.
Yes, remember, what is a USP? A unique selling proposition. It answered the question, why should I do business with you over and above thousands of other real estate agents, right? So one of the ingredients of a USP, we have the buyer. So now this is what I learned from you. When I show up at the listing appointments, I look like this, Mr. Owner of the house. This is the proof of funds. This is the bank statements. Right now, I have 127 buyers who's looking to buy homes just like yours, 3-bedroom,
Right.
2 baths here in San Gabriel, between $800,000 to $1.5 million. This is the proof of funds. This is the pre-approvals, and this is the agents that they're working now on the road. It's
really great demonstration. It's great demonstration when you can bring in a list of here's the buyers, here's their names, here's how many weeks they've been working with me, here's which one of my buyer agents has been showing them properties, here's how many homes we've shown them over the last month. So Rudy has the buyers, really, is another USP, is why work with another agent? Rudy's already got your home sold. He'll guarantee it if it doesn't sell, but he's already got thousands of buyers in his database that are looking for a home in your area. Okay, let's next move to statistical USPs. Not like you do an amazing job for your buyers and sellers. You get them better results versus the average realtor on MLS. How do you leverage off your superior statistics versus the real estate board stats?
Oh, this is good. The statistical USP, especially now, Craig, every house in my marketplace sold within like now, right?
Right.
And so can you imagine if you're the owner of the house, like, why should I hire you? I could have put a for sale by owners. I could have sold my own house. So one of the powerful statistical USP is that your home will sell for at least $17,500 for more money than you sell.
So that's one of your guarantees is your home, if you list with Rudy Kusuma, your home will sell for, on average, $17,500 over your asking price, or what?
Or I'll pay you the difference.
Or you'll pay me the difference. That's pretty cool, everybody. You've got to admit. I mean, look, you can listen to this and say, well, I don't like the guaranteed sale program, or that scares me, or I'll be afraid I'll get stuck with a home. Look, understand this. We see so many realtors that have these preconceived notions about unique selling propositions, the guarantees, and the unique services, and the statistical USPs that we talk about here today. Get the information before you judge. I can tell you this, the most successful real estate agents in the country are doing exactly what we're talking about today. So if you list with Rudy, his guarantee is if we don't sell it, we'll actually buy it. In fact, we guarantee that we're going to sell your home for, on average, $17,500 more than the asking price, or we'll just, not on average, or we'll pay you the difference, right? So if you only sell my home for $16,000 over the asking price, I'm getting a check from you or $1,500 on closing, correct?
Yes. Yep. And it's all already agreed upfront in writing, and you actually already give us, like you gave me all this paperwork. So this is not just words, you guys. The problem in real estate, Craig, before I meet you, people just talk, right? So when I met you, this is all, everything is agreed upon by the owner of the house upfront in writing. So there's no misunderstanding. You said, he said.
What about other kind of guarantees? Like if you list the sellers, if the seller lists with you, you're guaranteeing the communication. They're going to hear from you on a regular basis. How's your communication guarantee work?
Yes, our communication guarantee is this. We guarantee that we return your phone call within 24 hours, or we will pay you $500 a day. See, the biggest problem in real estate, Craig, the real estate agents are not responding every time. It's very common. Every time I speak to the consumers, they always say, oh my gosh, my agents never call me back. Well, that will never happen with my team because when
right. How many, to interrupt for 1 minute, how many of you would agree, watching or listening to this, that's pretty much the number one complaint that sellers have about realtors? You know, I'm not going to use the last realtor because I listed with him or her and I never heard from them, or I was chasing them. So your communication guarantee, this is what they hear at the listing presentation, is you're going to get back to them, right away, within 24 hours? How does it work?
Yes, within 24 hours. We guaranteed, we call you, whenever you call our team, we are guaranteed to call you back within 24 hours, or we will pay you $500.
What are the guarantees to give the seller in that listing presentation? So one is your communication guarantee. You've got another one that's honest promises and facts. It's really how you present yourself, right? Like you're saying, when I come to your house and I talk to you about Rudy Kusuma and I talk to you about my track record and my experience, I guarantee everything I say about myself and how I present myself is true, or there's a guarantee there as well.
Yeah, it says it's an honest promise guaranteed, because you see, Craig, many of our competitors tell the homeowners, hey, they overpromise. So we put it in writing. We call it our honest promises guarantee. It says, Rudy Kusuma at your home sold guaranteed realty is not going to widely promise the owner of the house, the sellers, the moon and the stars to get the seller's business. Rudy and his team at your home sold guaranteed realty will tell the sellers that we can and will do exactly how we operate, as well as what we will not do upfront in clear language. When we list your home, we will give the sellers a detailed professional service agreement in writing, guaranteed. If at any time we fail to honor that agreement, we'll give you $500.
Yeah, very powerful. Okay, so what we've talked about so far, and by the way, if you're tuning in late, today, I'm interviewing Rudy Kusuma. Rudy was the #1 RE/MAX agent in the state of California. Since then, he's opened his own company, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. He is in California. What's your exact location there, Rudy?
I'm a little bit east of downtown Los Angeles.
Okay, so there he is. So send your referrals to Rudy if you want to, if you need a great agent in the LA area. Now, we have touched on unique selling propositions, but we really just, touched the surface here. We've talked about 3 different types of USPs. We've talked about performance guarantees. This is where you're going to actually guarantee performance on some level. We talked about guaranteeing their house. We talked about a communication guarantee. If we don't call you every week or get back to you within 24 hours, we're going to take $500 off of our commission. All these things, by the way, help you actually get a higher fee, and they help you get the business versus losing it to someone else. And by the way, if you're not getting lots of listing appointments, you can't say the competition is beating you. That would be like saying, you show up for a baseball game and you're sitting in the stands. Like, you're not even in the game. We teach you through powerful marketing how to get your foot in the door. So when the seller, buyer, they're interviewing agents, you're going to be one of the realtors they're talking to. But more than that, we show you how to win. Okay, so there's performance guarantees. That's one type of USP. The next unique selling proposition platform we talked about were unique services. And the example that Rudy gave is our buyers in waiting program. We already have X amount of buyers for your home. This is a unique service that Rudy offers that other agents don't offer. He actually has a list of buyers that he brings to the listing presentation, and he lays it down. He says, how about that? You know, the other 2 agents you interviewed, all they wanted to talk about is what they would start doing to try to find a buyer. I've got 127 buyers for your house right now in our database. Here's the list. Very powerful, unique service. And then the final USP platform we talked about were statistical guarantees, where Rudy says, hey, look, on average, here's the facts. It's not even really a risky promise for Rudy to make. He sells hundreds and hundreds of houses, and they average $17,500 more than the asking price. So he's able to say to the sellers and promote to sellers, I promise to get you not only the full asking price, but at least at minimum of $17,500 over the asking price. Or guess what? I'll pay you the difference. How would you like to learn how to do this? This is how you make $8 million a year in GCI and become one of the top real estate agents in the country. Rudy, I want to thank you so much for doing this. Next time I'm going to get you back and we're going to discuss team building. But you've been listening to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show, where we share the strategies of millionaire agents. Their success is facilitated by the Craig Proctor system. And I have created more millionaire real estate agents than any other coach, trainer, or guru. So make sure you listen every Tuesday as we launch brand new episodes. And if you've liked what you've heard, leave us a review, share your comments. We actually look at the comments because this will help us map out future podcasts. And make sure you follow me on all social media, especially our private Facebook group, Rich Agent Secrets. If you go to Rich Agent Secrets, you're going to be able to connect with thousands of success-minded agents that are on the same journey as you, superstars like Rudy Kusuma. Also, I've got my upcoming 3-day super conference. We can spend 3 days with me and superstars like Rudy coming up just around the corner, June 11th to the 13th is the next Craig Proctor 3-day super conference. You can register at craigproctorseminar.com. Just go there, check out the agenda. 3 days with me. We still have our early bird special. That's craigproctorseminar.com. If you like this, you're going to love hanging out with us for 3 days. So until next time, we're going to wrap it up. This is Craig Proctor. Thank you for joining us on the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Thank you again.